Y'all, we are hanging out in the indoor grow space. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Kim's Cozy Corner. And we are going to do a winter indoor garden tour. It's been probably a little over a week since I did a garden tour, and I'm talking about my indoor garden tour. It is late December, and in late December, I'm not doing too much outside, so everything is happening indoors. And I wanted to share with you how things are going indoors. Because, for one, I need to do some harvesting, and I don't want to harvest and then come do a video of the tour of the indoor garden. You were like, what happened, Kim? Everything looks all chopped up because I have a massive lettuce harvest that we need to do. But before I do that harvest, I want to show you my full indoor growing space and how things are doing and how I'm continuing to feed my family with fresh vegetables throughout this winter season. So let's get started and let me show you everything that's going on in my indoor grow space. Come with me. Now, in this space, there's some good things and there's some okay things, but most of it's good. So I like to start with my Letpot hydroponics system, which got off to a slow start, but I think it's doing pretty well. So let's start there. So here is my Letpot indoor hydroponics system. Now this is one of the smaller units, and I do have a larger unit on its way, and I definitely will do a review on that as well. This one has, I believe, 12 pockets in it, and you can see the lettuce has just taken over, and this is one of the things that I need to harvest. The lettuce has just gone crazy. So much so that I had to move some things around. So this is a tiny Tim tomato plant that was completely buried by the lettuce. So I had to move some things around to make sure that everything was getting light. Now, I also believe I overplanted this system based on the types of vegetables that I planted. So I'm glad there are a few compartments that didn't produce. So all of the beans, which I did plant green beans in here, none of those beans came up. I had one bean that came up. You can't even see it anymore. And then it just died in place. So I removed that one and just closed down that cell. But the tomatoes, which is the tiny Tim, it's healthy, it's strong, and there's actually two growing in this pocket here. And I'm hoping this tiny Tim will start putting blooms on really soon. For all of the lettuce, I have La Rosa, Slow Boat, and I don't forgot what else is in here. But the lettuce is doing well. I have a pocket here that I replanted this pocket right here. And when I replanted it, it started coming up. It did well. And then guess what? This leaf set and covered it up. And so now it's struggling. So we're going to get this lettuce out of here so the rest of the plants can start doing better. And then over here, I have another tomato plant. Now these are micro dwarf tomatoes. So let me be clear, these are not your typical vining tomato plants. These are micro dwarfs. They don't get any taller than 12 inches. And this is an actual orange hat that poke its little head out. Hello there. So this orange hat and the tiny Tim will give me tomatoes here, hopefully in the next month or so. And then I did plant, I believe it was 3 pepper plants in here. I only got one to germinate and it's doing amazing. So here's the one, and this is called a golden honey. And it was completely buried on the other side over there by the lettuce. So I moved it so it could get more of the light so that it could start producing. But it's healthy, it's putting on new leaves, and it's supposed to be a super sweet pepper. So we will enjoy that. And that's really it for this Letpot indoor growing system. And y'all, this is enough lettuce right here for my mom and I to eat on for several days by itself. Not to mention all the other lettuce I'm getting ready to show you. Now, I wasn't really sure about this Letpot hydroponic system when I first started it, but now I'm going to be honest with you, I love it. I think it's perfect. It's just enough for a small family to complement any of the other things they may have. I prefer to use it for my lettuces and probably the micro dwarf tomatoes once they get going. So I believe this is going to work. For those of you who are interested, there should be a link in my description box to this unit, and I believe there's a discount code in there as well. Don't hold me to that. If there's a discount code, it will be below if you're interested in the Letpot system. But let's talk about everything else that's growing in the indoor growing space. We will start over here. The last time I showed this pot, I had neglected my cucumbers, completely neglected them. They completely died back. They were crispy, crispy, crispy is what I like to say about them. And I had one that survived right here, and it's now putting on new leaves, so it's happy again. And I planted seeds to make up the difference for all of the other ones that died. Those seeds have come up, and I have new plants in here. So there are 3 cucumber plants in there that are thriving now. And so I will make sure I don't neglect them again. Now it's time for me to show you what didn't go well. So I like to be perfectly honest. I like to keep it real. And I planted some green beans that they didn't do well. I'm not sure what happened. They got all mushy, but I'm going to show you where they were supposed to be and how there's nothing there and what I did to solve that issue. Now, I like to keep it real. And in this container here, I had 9 jade green bean plants. And as you can see, there are no green beans in this container at the moment. So in that blue container, I am very disappointed that those jade beans did not come up, but that's okay. I don't know if I kept it too wet. I'm not sure what happened. So I replanted that container with a different type of green bean just in case there was something wrong with the seeds. These are the seeds that I replanted that container with. These are Landreth, I guess that's how y'all say it, Landreth green beans. Now they should germinate in 8 to 10 days. And so I should see pretty quickly whether or not these bush beans are going to produce or not. Once I know my beans are germinating, I know that I can get more than 6 pounds of green beans in that space up there, but I gotta first get them to germinate. So we've already planted these beans in that space up there, and hopefully they will take off really soon. Next, we will talk about the transplants. So I have 3 containers of sweet peppers growing here. Now, each container had 2 seeds in them. Each one had 2 seeds, and I didn't put these on a heat mat at all. And typically when you're growing peppers, they take a long time to germinate, and you typically need a heating mat. Now, I didn't use a heating mat at all, and I still got 3 of the 4 banana peppers to germinate, and they're happy. I got a 50% germination on the Zulu, which is a really deep, dark, like purple bell pepper. So I got 2 of the 4 to germinate. And on the yellow monster, which is a massive yellow bell pepper, I only got 1 seed to germinate out of 4. But y'all, I thought I was going to have a ton of open space in one of my GreenStalks, and I think I ended up with only 3 open spots. And these were to replace those open spots in the GreenStalk. So I still have more peppers than I have anything to do with, but y'all, I will find a place to put them. Now let's move on over to some of these other seedlings. So I have Butter Crunch right here that is in desperate need of being transplanted and put into a larger container, which I haven't done. And you can see that they are not happy at all. But with these, if as long as they survive anyway, with these, as long as they survive and I up pot them, they will just take off again. And I really don't have anywhere else to put lettuce, and I have more lettuce than I can use right now. So it's okay if they grow very slowly. I just don't want them to die completely off because this is for the next batch when they're needed. I have another container of transplants here. Again, these are all lettuce, y'all, all lettuce. And they want out of this container really, really bad. So this is Pablo right here. It's a heading lettuce. And these three want out. And then over here, I think this is Atlantis Winter. And again, they want out of there as well. But we will have to transplant those or up pot those at a later date. Another container here. This is La Rosa. It's a red leaf lettuce. It's getting crispy. I need to get these watered. There's another La Rosa back here. And then I have, in this container here, I have one dynamite plant, which is lettuce as well, that needs to be transplanted. Now that's all the young seedlings that I have left in my indoor grow space at this point in time. But y'all, it's the end of December. We will start transplanting the next season, 2024, very soon. So I need to have all of these shelves clear so we can start all those seedlings or new seeds for the next year. Now let's move over. I'm always talking about my potatoes, y'all. Look at those potatoes. They are so luscious. Now the containers are all the way down here. The containers stop right here. And then the vegetation is growing up through my shelving unit, which will actually help kind of stabilize them there. And I got to thinking like, ooh, am I going to need that space to put seedlings on? Or did I just mess myself up by letting them grow through? And I believe I'm okay. Because last year I only had this one shelving unit. This is a new shelving unit, so it's all extra space. And I should be fine because I have the top shelf up there, I have that one there, and I still have the back side of the bottom row over there, as well as this row here where the green vegetation is coming up and through. So I'm still increasing the amount of space for my seedlings, so I should be good to go. Now I just started another container of potatoes here. Now they haven't broke the ground yet, but they should be breaking the ground really soon. And so once they break the ground, they'll be lush and full just like these back here. Now, y'all know I like to save my green stalks for last because I love my green stalks. Y'all, I drunk the Kool-Aid if you want to call it that. I love my green stalks and they are doing amazing. And so let's jump over and look at how the green stalks are doing as well. We will start with the very top tier of the green stalks. Now, a little over a week ago, I was explaining how the top tier, which has micro dwarf tomatoes in it, how they completely dried out and they weren't getting enough lighting because I had them all the way down on the floor, on the bottom layer over here, which is as far away from the lighting as you can get. So I moved that one green tier over here to the top of my peppers. So it's a different color, but that's okay. They all work the same. And since I moved it over here, y'all, look, they're green again. They were completely brittle and dead and drying back. And I was trying to explain that this is no fault of the GreenStalk. This is all me and lighting. And indoor lighting can be tricky, so you have to be careful with that. But since I moved them up here, they're green, they're happy. Y'all look at that. I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there, they want to try to bloom a little bit. And so of the plants I had in here, and all the pockets were full except for one, I now have 3 pockets that are happy again. And they're coming back and they're lush and they're green. Like this one, y'all, this was dead. It was dead. Look, 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 look. It's green again. It's putting little leaves on. It's going to come back. This one was just a stick and it's turned green again as well. And then I planted new seeds in all of these other pockets because they were just too far gone. They never came back. So I've planted seedlings in the rest of these pockets. And I just wanted to show you, like, look right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But in this pocket, I have a couple seedlings that have already broke ground. So we will get micro dwarf tomatoes in all of those pockets in the very near future. And below that are all of my peppers. And I have 3 tiers of peppers in here. And y'all, y'all look at all these blooms. Look at all of these blooms on these peppers. And all I wanted to do was overwinter. I was not necessarily trying to get production off of them, but they are blooming. They're happy. They're green. They're full. Even all the way down here on the bottom, I have little buds and blooms. So even for the ones that I thought were kind of done, they were toast, they got green leaves on them. Now I also gave them a good fertilizing as well with my Dr. Earth. That's the new fertilizer that I'm using. And everything just turned so green and full. And they're doing really, really well. Now I had someone ask me, like, what is this on my GreenStalk? And so let me just be honest and just share with you. This GreenStalk right here was too close to the danger zone. So we had our driveway sealed and I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, do I need to move my towers? Do I need to move my vertical planters? Oh, no, they're fine. They're fine. They won't be in the way. And sure enough, if he didn't spray my tower. Now, I've cleaned them up as best I could. None of that tar got inside the pocket, so it's just all on the outside. It's all cosmetic. And so one of my 11 towers has 2 tiers that has tar on the outside of them. So other than that, they are fine. They're not degrading. They're doing just what they need to do. And moving over to the last GreenStalk here. And this is where, y'all, we got to do some harvesting because I'm waiting way too long to harvest over here. This top tier is all lettuce, and this lettuce wants to come out. It needs to be harvested. Now, I've already harvested off of this tower 2 times. It's been harvested 2 times. This, I cut it all the way back, and look at this. It's already come back again, and it's ready to be harvested again. This is my Gustav. Look, y'all, it's dead because it wants out. It wants to come out of this pocket. So we are going to clean this lettuce up in another video so you can see what's going on with it. And this very top one here, I cut these all the way back as well. And they're so full and lush and happy. This is my bronze minuet. It's a heading lettuce, and we're going to get that out as well. There's some more Gustav, and I think I'm back around. And this next tier, again, is all lettuce, and I just recently planted this less than a week ago. Not this pocket. This pocket was already planted, but look how full and happy it is. I planted this one less than a week ago, and it wasn't too happy. This is a Pablo. It's a heading lettuce as well. This is La Rosa, and it's happy. Atlantis Winter is happy as well. More Pablo. And this particular one was already in here, and this is Lala Rosa as well. I have bok choy in the very bottom here. Let me get it spin around so you can see it here. And I need to water. They need water. Bok choy in 3 pockets. And then I planted green beans in the other 3 pockets. So this seems to be the commonplace of you finding me this winter, which is sitting on the floor of my indoor growing space. And I'm going to be honest with you, I come down here and sit quite often when I'm trying to think about, what do I want to plant next? I come into this space here because this is where I find solitude, y'all. I sit in here around all of this life, all of this nutrition, all of this good eating, as we like to say, and it gives me inspiration as well as ideas of what we can do next. Well, thank you for joining me for this brief garden update, my indoor garden tour for the month of December. And when we're doing indoors, everything grows so quickly. I try to give an update every couple of weeks or so, if I can. I try to, because things change so fast. And it's such a small space. And so I want you to see as it changes. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back and visit with me. Come and see what's happening at Kim's Cozy Corner. Until next time, and I hope there will be a next time. Bye.